Dear viewers, warm welcome to the first round of today's National Television English Parliamentary Debate Competition. Ladies and gentlemen, the format of the Parliamentary Debate Competition differs from the traditional style. In this system, there is a government party and an opposition party. The motion is placed in the House by the Prime Minister, who is also the leader of the House. The role of the opposition is to place constructive arguments against the bill. Today's motion before the House is, agroeconomy is more important than techno-economy for Bangladesh. Rajuk Uttara Model College, Dhaka is representing the government side, and Mirzapur Cadet College, Tangail is representing the opposition bench. The government side is being represented by Irham Shafkat of Rajuk Uttara Model College, Dhaka, who is the Prime Minister and leader of the House. Wasif Mahmood is the member of the cabinet and is in charge of Ministry of Agriculture. Unaiza Anika is the member of the Treasury bench. The opposition bench is being represented by MD Ahnaf Hussain of Mirzapur Cadet College, Tangail, who is the leader of the opposition. SM Mahin Zaman is the deputy leader of the opposition. Sajid bin Mahmood is the member of the opposition bench. The honorable adjudicators of these sessions are Abdul Razak Mia, Associate Professor of English and Training Specialist, National Academy for Education and Management, Dhaka. Khan Rafiqul Islam, Associate Professor, Department of Sociology, Dhaka College, Dhaka, and eminent debater. Nishat Sultana, columnist and program coordinator, United Purpose. Professor Dr. Uttam Kumar Borua, Director of Shahid Sohrawardi Medical College and Hospital, Dhaka. The Honorable Speaker of the House is Pranab Chakraborty, former Additional Secretary, People's Republic of Bangladesh and Chief Coordinator Training, BIGM. Before the House starts its proceeding, let me inform you about the order and time allocation of each debater. Prime Minister, 4 minutes. Leader of the Opposition, 5 minutes. Member of the Cabinet, 5 minutes. Deputy Leader of the Opposition, 5 minutes. Member of the Treasury Bench, 5 minutes. Member of the Opposition Bench, 5 minutes. The Opposition Leader will get another 3 minutes for rebuttal, and the Prime Minister will get the last 4 minutes to wind up his party's stand. All the members of the competing teams, the adjudicators, the invited guests, and other members of the audience will comprise the members of the House. I now most humbly request the Honorable Speaker to start today's proceeding. The Honorable Speaker, please.
Welcome you all. Today, as we have heard in the meantime, the motion is agroeconomy is more important than techno-economy for Bangladesh. So to start with, let me invite the Honorable Prime Minister to introduce today's motion and address the House. Honorable Prime Minister.
Enshrined in our very constitution lies the principle that we as a nation must endeavor to ensure equality for all citizens, regardless of their gender, race, or social class. I thank the Honorable Speaker for giving me the floor today. And today we will be describing as government party that we strongly believe that prosperity for all can only be achieved through focusing on an agricultural economy. And hence, we should support this motion. Before we begin, let us lucidly clarify what we mean by the terms agroeconomy and techno-economy, the two terms at the heart of today's motion. By techno-economy, we mean an increased national focus on industrial sectors, both in the form of products such as factories producing plastic and electronic goods, but also in the form of services such as the building of apps and other services at the expense of a focus in agriculture. In contrast, by agroeconomy, we mean a national focus centered on agriculture, both in the production processes of agriculture and in the related research methods as well. We encourage, as government, we encourage the expansion of scientific farming methods and better machinery in the field, as proposed by the government already, as well as further ongoing research into resistant and high-yielding crop varieties as well. What we do not support is the expansion of heavy industries and other fields at the expense of agricultural progress. And we will be describing why it is so crucial in 3 core points distributed among our speakers. Firstly, we're going to be describing why it only entrenches a class divide among our people. Secondly, we're going to be describing how it only results in the not maximization of our utility, instead it only results in wastage. And finally, we're going to be telling you how it only results in overcrowding in both in our institutions and in our urban environments as well. So firstly, as Prime Minister, let me discuss to you why this motion matters to begin with. Prosperity of our nation is reliant not on our GDP. It is not measured in the number of factories we produce. It is measured in the number of people we can successfully uplift from poverty, from their states, into a better standard of living. That is what prosperity truly is. And let's tell you how agriculture has already ensured this prosperity for decades at this point and how it should continue in the future. In order to empower these people who comprise our government has taken so many projects already in order to ensure that these people are self-reliant. Today, the government provides over 300 billion taka in the form of subsidies, both in the form of direct cash and in the form of products such as agricultural goods, advanced seed varieties, enhanced fertilizer, and so forth, in order to ensure their prosperity.
Honorable Prime Minister, we are thinking of our agriculture being used with the technology. So we are supporting our technology at the one side, so techno-based economy on the other side. So I hope you might have a good answer for it. Thank you.
Techno-economy, by its definition, would mean an expanded focus on technology at the expense of agriculture. That's what the word literally means. It means focus on a knowledge-based economy, which means focusing products that are knowledge-based, which are factory goods and other services. Agriculture will exist, but it will become a secondary under your world. And let's tell you, we have over 95 agriculture information and communication centers nationwide that allow these people to gain information on how to produce agricultural goods. Thanks to government efforts, sharecropping is now practiced in over 42 districts, which allows farmers to be independent, to work on their own land, to allow them to earn a stable income free of a fear of exploitation, as they are the owners of their own land. Even BTV itself has a show, Krishi Divanishi, which clearly provides information to farmers so they can easily implement these techniques into the field. The reason these techniques have been so efficient to implement is because these techniques themselves
Prime Minister, BTV, it's using technology to use that, what you said, that program.
That's
you
not
must mind it. I hope you will have a good answer.
Again, we've already clarified, just because we said we have an agriculture focus doesn't mean we're going back to the Stone Age. We focus on technology, but that's agriculture should still be at the heart of our economy. Under your world, what do you propose? You would propose something like taking these funds away from these farmers and investing them in technological fields, which are what? Factories and other things. Because you believe that people would be better off working in factories. We tell you that's strongly not the case. Why? Because in that scenario, we already tell you, given that 31% of our population still lives under the poverty line, these people will be opened up to a severe risk of exploitation by these factory owners, compared to our world where they're self-reliant, have access to their own fields. Prosperity is measured in the number of people we uplift, not in the factories we have.
Now, Honorable Leader of the Opposition, the floor is yours to express your views against today's motion.
Heads of the House, dignitaries, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come not to bury this country, but to praise the opportunities it has. The reveal that men do lives after them. The woes are often interred with their bones. So let it be with the woes. The House proposes agroeconomy is more important than techno-economy for Bangladesh. I, the opposition leader of the Parliament, take a firm stand against the motion. Now, as I am the opposition leader, it might be quite obvious to some that I will oppose the matter, no matter what is proposed, but not for the sake of debate nor gathering votes in my favor. I stand here firmly opposing the topic, for the sake of the future of my people, for the sake of my motherland. At the very outset, let me make it clear. Today, we are not here to establish an economic system, rather to choose which one's more important in perspective of Bangladesh. Now, let me again clarify the two main aspects of today's proposal, agroeconomy and techno-economy. Agroeconomics or agronomics is an applied field of economics concerned with the production and distribution of food and fiber, which specifically deal with the land usage. On the other hand, techno-economics is an applied field of economics which deal with the impacts of technology on economy. Saying that, you will see the aspects of my content can be divided into 4 major parts: present situation of Bangladesh, advantages of techno-based economy, promises of techno-economy on Bangladesh, and lastly, okay, let's give it a surprise, wait for it. Honorable Speaker, let me start with Bangladesh. Honorable Prime Minister, I appreciate the attempts you made to establish the motion, but I must still oppose this bill because you seem to have forgot the current condition of population and land scarcity of Bangladesh. The current position of Bangladesh in terms of population is 8th, having a population of 164 million, which is humongous compared to a puny area of 1,47,610 square kilometers. Honorable Speaker, okay, allowed.
Okay, so you're proposing that we establish more factories on already little land, which is somehow a good idea.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Prime Minister will get his answer throughout my speech. So, where were we? Now, Honorable Speaker, are we planning to deprive more people from their right to a place to live, which is a basic human right, only to keep an agro-based economy prevailing in the country? Question remains. I'm sure you know we need land for that, and a lot of it. And again, you're not much of a believer in techno-based economy because techno-economy has a solution to that problem, because we could get better and more productive breeds of rice which can boost agriculture. Ladies and gentlemen, we would also be using technologically improved equipments for other works. Technology could also be used for production in livestock like cattle fattening, increasing in milk production and what not. Honorable Speaker, if you're still not convinced, you may as well take a look at Indonesia and Vietnam, the leaders in agriculture, even after being scant area. The cause of their success is nothing but the use of technology in it. They've turned it into their own little game. Honorable Speaker, it's a great privilege for me to brag about the grand success of our textile industry right now. It has a contribution of 18% to our GDP. Their secret to such success is swiftness, great efficiency, and low labor costings. But for these things to work, technology has been used. Many scholars have even related the whole industry sector to technology sector for their high dependence on modern technology. Honorable Speaker, with less investment, the industries are being able to complete their work much swiftly with almost zero error and more profit. And this is being possible in an agro-based country like ours. Imagine how much we could profit if we had a techno-based economy. Honorable Speaker, CIA World Factbook says that emerging Asian countries like Malaysia, India, China, etc. have opted for digitalization to exploit the opportunities offered by the digital age and to catch up to the technologically advanced countries. Honorable Speaker, Malaysia, fully supported by the government, has created 800 new IT companies with over 98,000 new jobs, while 200 foreign companies have set up their regional centers in Malaysia, bringing billions of dollars in investment and creating significant new jobs. India is the topmost destination for IT companies in today's world. They have made huge foreign investment which has contributed significantly to their GDP. Defenders of the motion, remember, I'd kept a surprise, and here it goes. Vision 21, the most hyped plan made by the government of Bangladesh, which is to make Bangladesh a middle-income country within 2021, using information and communication technology and a developing business environment. Bangabandhu High-Tech City itself will create around 10 lakh new employments, which will open the doors of possibilities. Honorable Speaker, I really cannot put the puzzles in order, whether Honorable Prime Minister is doing his works according to his words or not. To me, it seems like they are backfiring what they said by promoting an agro-based economy over a techno-based one. I wonder what the citizens might think about this. So, debating about this topic is totally absurd. Our history might show great flourishment of agriculture, but our present shows greater promise in technology. And technology shows greater promise when it comes to economics. As a patriot, as a leader, I want what is good for the future of my people, and thus I can't allow this bill to be passed in today's House. Not now, not ever. Very proud to oppose. Hope I've justified my arguments. Thank you all. Long live Bangladesh.
Thank you, Honorable Leader of the Opposition. The Honorable Prime Minister raised hand probably to ask a question, but you have time now because your Minister for Agriculture, will now get the floor to come forward with arguments with his one and with the Prime Minister's one.
I would like to speak about our maximization of capabilities. Bangladesh lies on a land which is very fertile and which is very enriched with soil. Over 2/3 of our country belong to the Ganges Delta, which provides irrigation facilities and fertile soil over the country, and which cannot be compared with any other country of the earth. Our government side has clearly excelled at making the best of this. Today, we produce more than 3 times the amount of seed the government previous government used to produce. We are producing 13.28 million tons of rice, empowering over 40% of our total population, 6.6 crores of people to be exact, who are being empowered by these initiatives. And that does not stop there. Our government side, clearly, our Honorable Sheikh Hasina has taken projects such as the Mahamaya irrigation project, land irrigation project, which provides irrigation to the parts of our countries which they need the most. And we provide 1.4 lakh hectares of land irrigation under these kind of projects. There remains so much more potential in this sector too. With the advent of advanced farming machinery under the purview of the government, we can increase our yields several folds. Thanks to the research from institutions like BRRI for research of golden rice, a vitamin A enriched variety of rice, we can ensure food security for millions through these.
Point of information, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Government, we are telling that technology is needed in our agriculture. So as we need something which is important, so why are we not understanding that we need technology? So that's why technology is important to us.
Much more important than agriculture.
Opposition Speaker, you must know that we did not say that we don't support technology at all. We rather say that we should use technology mixed with agriculture to have sufficient benefits for our economy. And let me ask you a question first. All the developed countries of the world, you know that they did not go to the industrial age by just jumping or skipping the agriculture age. They have built a firm basis and a firm base of agriculture, and they have improved their agriculture to an extent, and after that they can go to there. How do you explain this? Speaking next, and all of these projects have been benefiting a single yet very critical class of our societies, our majority, by empowering them to earn their own livelihood. On the comparative, your project proposes to take away funds from these people who need these funds the most and who build their families around it. You propose to limit such significant initiatives only to invest in sectors that would require heavy imports from other countries, only generate more pollution, when we as a nation and our people can be independent in the form of agriculture? Nextly, I would like to speak about youth.
Point of information. Okay, you are telling about different countries. So what about USA? They didn't have agriculture as their main basis on their economy. So how can you explain that? Thank you.
Do you really think that Bangladesh has a better agriculture than the USA, that you're comparing USA to Bangladesh, and they don't have sufficient agriculture?
How can...
Now I'd like to move on. From the very roots, the fundamentals on which our lives and livelihood is predicated on is agriculture. Our forefathers built this nation embracing the boundaries of the land on which they proposed as a new nation. They prospered as a new nation and encouraged us to do the same. Yet, bowing down to global demands, we forgot our roots and embraced engineering and technology, clearly forgetting where we had an advantage over the world. We were hiding under the veil that technology would alleviate all our sufferings and that we would simply import all our goods. The end result is that we have millions of students, futures of our nation, studying only subjects like engineering, technology, business, but never we encourage them to study agriculture and take part in agriculture so that they can develop it more. Our universities are overcrowded, and more importantly, we produce graduates who simply don't see ample, impactful opportunities here and go abroad instead, only resulting in waste of national resources. There remain so many opportunities in the agriculture sciences. Bangladesh is a leading nation in agriculture and producing a plethora of advanced varieties of crops, discovering revolutionary ways to grow them and a sustainable way to ensure food security. So why are we proposing to waste millions of human resources? 10 seconds, please, Honorable Speaker.
Okay.
Why are we proposing to waste millions of human resources on the verge of leaving the country when they can be changing the world from Bangladesh?
Now, Honorable Deputy Leader of the Opposition, please come forward with your arguments.
Our morning showers die out for the day, and our dreadful gore marches for a shining evening. But instead of mounting on the zenith floor, I choose to speak for what I believe. Today, what I fight for is what I stand for, and I stand for my mother Bangladesh. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. 46 years ago, when our motherland achieved her independence, just 8 years before that, another country also became independent. Now, both were a third world country, while that country's condition was much worse than Bangladesh. Let's come to the present. That country has become a first world country, while Bangladesh is stuck where it was.
Question arises, what did they do right in these 46 years that we couldn't? The answer to this question is my sole purpose here to stand here against the motion. Honorable Speaker and August House present over here, Assalamu alaikum and a very good day to you all. By now you might have guessed which country I was talking about. Yes, I was talking about the Lion City, the Garden City, the Republic of Singapore. Lee Kuan Yew, the erstwhile Prime Minister of Singapore, mainly emphasized on techno-based economy and focused on manufacturing industries, which played a key role for their development. Honorable Prime Minister and Agro Minister were quite impressive at your points, but luckily I've got more logics than they have to satisfy this House against the motion. So at the very outset of my speech, let me tell you how technology can help increase the economy of our country. Firstly, it creates direct job opportunities and opens a other wide range of opportunities for discovering new intellectuals. Our Honorable Prime Minister might say that illiteracy is a barrier over here because 38.5% of the population are illiterate. But no, education can never be a barrier because techno-economy has gifted us with vocational works for these 38.5% people, which can turn them into human resource. Now, my second point, contribution to GDP. According to CIA World Factbook, agricultural sector contributes to the GDP of Bangladesh over only 16% by using 47% of the labor force. On the other hand, industry contributes 29.61% by using only 13% of the labor force. Number 3, USA, UK, China, Russia, and Japan are the most world's economically developed countries. Can you tell me what they have in common? Yes, it is nothing but technology which has helped them to reach this pinnacle of success. Agricultural sector contributes to the GDP of USA 1.1%, China 8.6%, UK 1.2%, Russia and Germany 0.6 and 0.7% respectively, which is very negligible in accordance with their industrial sectors. So it is obvious that our country needs the emphasis of technology more than agriculture for our development. Now, moving on to my speech number 4, business innovation.
Next one. Do you like to? Okay.
Let's also tell you what Bangladesh has, what the other countries done. We have 2/3 of the Ganges Delta, one of the richest soils of the world, and you say we should ignore that special advantage we have and become just like everyone else.
Well. Good point. But we need technology for that. And we have coal mines in Dinajpur. For only technology, we cannot just use them. And for other countries are taking them from our country. Thank you. Now, moving on to my speech. Now, there are many points that we can discuss, which is business innovation. Use of technology in our life will make it easier and faster. In perspective of Bangladesh, traffic jam is a huge curse which wastes a lot of time. So if we can attend different business-related meetings or staying at office or homes by video conference, then we can save a lot of time as well as contribute to the economy. The number 5, 6, 7, 8, and there are thousands of ways that technology can help us increase the economy. Learn Government Party. I was utterly shocked at your logics why agroeconomy is more important than techno-economy. You might have forgotten 2 or 3 points or just omitted it to stand the motion. So let me tell them to you. I want to ask you a question. How are you going to earn foreign currency by using only agriculture as your main basis? So, Learn Government Party don't think Bangladesh is lagging behind in the use of technology, because sources from Brown University Tubman Center for Public Policy 2016 states that Bangladesh is ranked 86th in the online government system. Moreover, the positions are 9th and 66th respectively in accordance with mobile phone and broadband users. After all these logics, if you don't still agree with me, can I have 10 more seconds, please?
Okay.
Then I must say, miles to go before your realization and miles to go before our destination. So ask yourself the conclusive question. Why are we still debating here? Hope I've justified my arguments and the bill will never be passed in today's parliament.
To speak in favor of today's motion, Honorable Member of the Treasury Bench.
2 things that are problematic in their speeches, right? 1, their inconsistency. 2, they don't know what they're doing and they get the misconception about the motion. When they talk about constant statistics on Singapore and other countries, you understand they have no form of engagement with what my first speaker said. Secondly, how do they not know what they're doing? When we clearly tell you facts about how our human resource is so crucial right now, we have a vast majority number of people who are going jobless because we are we're showing them something so foreign, which is techno-economy. People don't have a proper acknowledgement of techno-economy to even begin with. Understand, listen, the motion is not that we should support agriculture and nothing else and completely abandon technology. It's we already focus on agriculture, keeping technology as a secondary form of advancement and keeping agriculture as first. So moving on, first of all, I'd like to tell you that the first initiative that a government should take is to ensure prosperity in all regions of the world, in all regions of their country, despite of what race and culture exists there. But this desperation of people clearly exists in the coastal region, suburban region, and rural region of our countries, right? People are already infrastructurally weak, and they lack proper knowledge of what infrastructure can build their country properly, right? As a result, these regions not only lack skilled manpower, but they also lack people's proper recognition of what resources they have and how they can utilize these resources to the fullest extent. But I do agree, government has given us objectives in this regard. When government has more than 180 salinity observation centers in the country, when our government has provided us with Bangladesh Rice Research Institution, who has given us crops which are salinity intolerant, right? For example, BRRI Dhan 28. This is one of the most effective crops which are salinity.
Okay, loud.
You are talking about berry, but this is an example of technology, Honorable Speaker. And berry and everything that we produce, that is an example of
technology. This is a technology that is based on agriculture. We tell you, use your instruments in agriculture. Use your instruments so that agriculture is your first priority. It shouldn't come that I should be more close to the farmers that exist in my country rather than
Honorable Speaker.
cadet people who already have a proper mindset on how the
Allowed.
world works. But our farmers lack that.
Honorable Speaker, a government party is thinking that the BRI is built on our agriculture and by the use of technology, but it's built on
So I understand
biodiversity.
their confusion. Their confusion is why is agriculture really giving us any beneficial effects? Understand, one of the most crucial points of resources is shrimp industry, right? Shrimp industry in the coastal region influences our earning of foreign currency, and it allows these poor people to alleviate their lives off of the burdens that have been put on them. Despite having the potential to growth, these people, our coastal regions are recognized as one of the most depressed, if not neglected, regions in Bangladesh. Understand, this backwardness of these regions create inter-regional imbalance, right? And creates confusion and inflict fear among the people that already live in these people, despite the fact that they live in such a vibrant land. They fail to recognize what the uses of these vibrant lands. Secondly, date juices are from the northern regions of Bangladesh are exported to European countries, right? The date juices which cost 5 taka in Bangladesh costs 10 times more in European countries. That's how influential the products and goods made in our country are in other countries. Thus we notice, if we shift the paradigm of our economy from
Point of information, Honorable Speaker.
from agro-economy to techno-economy,
So,
we
two
harm
questions from your end
have
already
we shun these people
Yes,
away
sure,
from the promises that a nation has towards these people. Understand, along with this, urban overcrowding also happens when we don't provide people enough incentives to be with the government. We necessarily harm them in 3 regards. One, their quality of life, because when they move to the cities, thinking that their government is not providing enough subsidies in the rural areas, they move to the cities where they have to live in slums, where they're more prominent to effectful diseases. Secondly, professional life. From being in the urban areas where they can be self-reliant on sharecropping, but when they move to the cities, they are dependent on other corporations. They're not self-reliant, as already explained by my first speaker. They live in fear every day of losing their jobs when they move to the cities. Thirdly, relationship with the government. Understand, when you are in the urban cities, you have closer, 10 seconds, sir.
Okay.
When you live in the urban, rural cities, you have closer access to the Upajela Parishods and as such. In this way, you can easily connect to the government about your issues and problems. On the other hand, when you're in the cities, you cannot, when you go to the city corporation about your issues, those issues of a poor man does not come first, but the issues of a healthy child comes before the necessities of a farmer or of any other individual.
Now, honorable member of the opposition, you will deliver your speech against this motion.
Well, let me make this clear first. The topic is which one is more important, agro-based economy or the techno-based economy, where we, the government party, is telling that both are equally important, and that's a sick point here, I guess. So, rise and shine, to whom may I concern, Honorable Speaker, shining chairs, take my heart. I've been enormously conscious up to the proposals and derivatives made by my fellow commemorates and the Honorable Prime Minister. But as for my stand and the national interest, I cannot see my people die. I want them alive at any cost. The dream that our founding fathers had to make a gold-molded Bangladesh, I'm afraid the superposition of this proposal would lead us to nothing more than trash cans. Let's start making some point of our presence here. To the Honorable Speaker, when I close my eyes, I see my people dying, no one to care. Screams coming from deprived children, no one to act fair there. I see depressions at the sites of farmers during Cedar in 2007, Ayla in 2009, cyclones in 1991 and 2008, and the others, the flash floods and recent Howard floods a few days ago, where I didn't see much of the government relief funds. Honorable Speaker, by statistica.org, we came to know our ill fate caused an economic fall of total 7.93%, which is almost 10 times the cost of sending and manufacturing Bangabandhu satellite to the space. And Honorable Speaker, it destroyed the 77,000 farmers' fate-dependent perspiration, which also cost us a lot of money. I hope we can picture what those numbers actually look like. So let's have a look at what those numbers actually mean. Honorable Speaker, in almost the same years, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Japan faced fatal droughts, earthquakes, and salinity rise. But because of having minimal tech-based agriculture, they were costed only 2.7, 1.6, and 1.8 billion dollars in total, whereas we, the poor people of this country, were costed in total of 9.2 billion dollars of a heart-attacking amount. With that money, we could have bought one Podda Bridge and two Kuril flyovers by our own investments. Fancy, right? It should be, and it would be happening again, and again, if we are still sticking with our glues, with our minds with agro-based economy, that we are telling that techno-based is important, but we are not ailing to understand that saying that techno-based is important.
sir?
Saying that techno-based is important, we are not just telling. Yes.
Tell me what you will answer to the farmers who tell you that they do not understand technology. They do not understand the foreign language that you're speaking.
Thank you, honorable government people, that we are telling that the people who are there, the farmers, they don't understand the technology, but can we lag behind for that point only? Because we had our agriculture in 1976, but didn't we transformed ourselves into our industrialized country? So what was the point in that? I hope I could answer your question. So let's back to something that I really care about, that next coming to the food we are caring about. Let's talk about food. By the grace of global warming that you told, the average world temperature is going to rise by 4 degrees Celsius within 2050, raising the saline water heights by 33.4 centimeters, which is almost the height of my hand here, is going to rise up the salinity costs in our coastal areas. So, yes,
You
please.
were saying that global warming is being caused. So, for the techno-based economy, the industries you develop, they are causing more pollutions than the plants which are grown by agriculture and releasing oxygen and therefore benefiting our world in this
Thank you very much. Thank you. I could get your point. Yes, I am going to answer that point within a few seconds. I have a few time right now. So, like those times we have right now, we are going through a time that we are going to face a lot of problems in future with those global warming things. That's going to cost us 14,000 hectares of cultivable land from Greenstock cities Chittagong and Borishal, and from the places you grow your date juices, I guess. So from those places we are gonna get those date juices, but we need our lands, but they are gonna be destroyed within a few years. What are we gonna do about it? But with this plan ahead, Honorable Speaker, with this goal ahead, does it really sound like that? I hope not. So as always, we don't have a plan for it like 1974. So why don't we have a plan for it? Why don't we have a plan for the people of our country? Honorable Speaker, when this comes to our point that we were moving on to something that was in the global trend for a long, long time, that we are moving backward to something that we left many, many years ago. Honorable Speaker, let's come to business. I think we should all visit the third floor of Motale Plaza and the ground floor of Baitul Mokarram once in our lifetimes, because it's the place which really makes our point clear. Watching the small entrepreneurs centering one simple device, mobile phone, is really abstract. They have stacks of mobile selling shop, mobile servicing shop, mobile decorating shop, whatnot shop, and if you are a Chinese iPhone user like me, then not to mention the touch fixing shops in our locality. And let us not forget about the flexi load shops also. So how is they're going to the business. And Honorable Speaker, I solemnly believe agriculture agriculture used to be our point of importance once, but that once is 270 years ago when the people of this continent were the subject to English atrocities. Honorable Speaker, we had no backbone then, but now we have. Our agro-based economy totally is dependent on the techno-based economy today.
Thank you. Today's debate is on agroeconomy is more important than techno-economy for Bangladesh. With the deliberation of the honorable member of the opposition party, we come to an end of the first round. This is rebuttal round. Honorable leader of the opposition, please come forward with your arguments and points. Honorable leader of the opposition.
After 32 minutes and 25 seconds of heartbreaking commitments, ambush, stats, and super fair logic, I hope you all enjoyed the empty box of chocolates. No? Okay, me neither. Honorable Speaker, they seriously decorated agroeconomy like a hamburger with extra cheese and forgot to put the patty on it. Honorable Prime Minister, take my apologies. But as a leader, you should not only open your eyes, you must widen your views and see my country with the eyes of my people, your people, our people. At the very beginning, Honorable Speaker, learned member of the Treasury bench didn't answer my member of the Parliament, and again saying that agroeconomy is more important. But how could she support this proposal? Whereas the Finance Minister quoted, contribution of agriculture to the growth in GDP is gradually declining, and that too in the last Parliament. Even replying to an interview to BD News 24, he said, the share of technological sector to the GDP is increasing. Honorable Prime Minister, please settle the disputes among yourselves before coming to a conclusion. Land government, all your logic reminds me of running back towards an agroeconomy. But to me, it seems like you're suffering from amnesia, as you left 1,000 sectors of economy. From agriculture, we can at best get food and raw materials for the textile industry. But in case of technology, we'll get a lot more, including these two. Ringing any bells? Now, respected Agro Minister, can you please say, where are we investing our economical profits, which is not much? Infrastructural development and buying technology from others, why don't we build them ourselves and save a lot more? We can at least do what Walton and Pragati are doing. Okay, I'm not talking of living agriculture, where agriculture contributes to at best 5 sectors, whereas technology contributes to every sector, to the nation and even to the whole world. Okay, now, Honorable Prime Minister, let me show you something that will widen your views. Okay, why is India ahead of us in case of average remittance earned? Definitely not for population, because I'm talking about average. One word answer to your question, technology. A big mass of their expatriates are the educated mass who are quite skilled in technology. Remember, the whole economy depends on their income. Captains, enough of this blindfolded hide and seek. We all know what we believe. Yes, I agree agroeconomy is essential for my country, but as I said, agroeconomy without technology is like an empty box of chocolates. The father of our nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, died with a dream, and today we fight to bring it to life. And in this regard, techno-based economy is our greatest ally. So as we always say, whatever it is, you are looking up to. Whatever it is, we are looking forward to, and what is it we both are chasing? To that I say, techno-based economy. To that I say, amen. To that I say, all right, all right, all right. Thank you.
Honorable Prime Minister and Leader of the House, now you can speak for the next 4 minutes to defend and establish your motion.
Okay, so I thought a debate meant where people actually put up points and people respond. Well, it seems opposition doesn't even do that today. They just keep sounding absolutely amazing using Robert Frost poetry in very distorted ways at that for some very weird reason. But more importantly, they accuse us of being a cheeseburger of all things. Let's actually see what they did. They used amazing poetry and they asked what they could give the country. Well, we're still waiting on that question because they didn't answer that. They tell you that we're going to invest more in agriculture. We've totally clarified to you that's not even the motion to begin with. The motion is not that we're going to completely abandon technology and focus on agriculture. The focus is why we should focus more on technology over agriculture. We've already told you, for the love of God, all the advancement we've had in technology, we still had agriculture at our roots, even up to this very moment in time. That didn't mean we fell into the Stone Age or anything. The motion this House asks is why you should go further beyond, why you should push away agriculture from the center of your economy to technology. That was the heart of this motion, and that was what they completely ignored for all 3 of their speeches for some weird reason. Let's actually tell you why. We tell you, well, let's actually tell you what we do. We tell you can't shift away focus from agriculture, because when you do that, people who are already not interested in studying agriculture at the moment will be further discouraged from studying agriculture, and our research outputs, which are already important, will go down. We tell you, when you have so many people moving into the cities because agriculture jobs don't pay well enough because your country is focusing now on industry, these people are going to come to cities and have to live in absolutely horrible conditions, which they again completely ignore for some reason. They again tell you that their entire case is absolutely misleading. Why? Because they say that money will fix all our problems. All of their arguments are just about money, GDP, all of those things. Let's tell you something Begum Rokeya told us once a long time ago. It was, our money is not going to fix our things if we simply choose to keep on getting bachelors of sciences and master's degrees, but simply ignore the conditions of our fields of the ordinary people in our land. Our prosperity is not measured in the amount of our GDP. It is not measured in the amount of money we earn. It is measured in the amount of people who we can uplift from poverty into a better condition. Given that 31% of this country still lives under the poverty line, given that so many of these are still in agricultural fields, why should we shift the focus away from them, the people who need this help most, to middle class people who already run these factories, and give them more money to employ more people and possibly exploit them? The people who need this money most are the farmers of this nation, who form the true majority of this nation. So ultimately, at the heart of this nation, the heart of this nation was built on the principle not of how much money we earn, it's the amount of people we uplift. Vision 2021 was Bangladesh's Vision 2021. The amount of the progress that Bangladesh can make, and we've already told you, taking into our unique advantage of some of the most fertile soil in the world, some of the best research in the world, we can build on that. We can make our fields even better. That's what Vision 2021 of Bangladesh is, focusing on Bangladesh's benefits. Instead, they chose a general argument. They said this country did that, this country did that, this country did that. They completely ignore what Bangladesh is. Bangladesh isn't just yet another nation who will just be benefited from industry. If you completely ignore all the natural resources you have to offer, we tell you our progress will only happen when we focus on the benefits we have, when we focus on uplifting the people we have, and as a country together, we actually progress further. Instead of simply allocating people to factories, simply telling them to live a life in the slums, simply because we believe it will be better. We tell you, you fail to engage with us, you fail to actually answer the questions we ask, and most importantly, you fail to actually realize who the people who matter most at this motion are. The majority of our nation, the farmers of our nation.
Agroeconomy and technoeconomy eventually is a messy thing. Agroeconomy cannot get anything without technoeconomy. Again, technoeconomy habits bias on agroeconomy. As we know, we cannot ignore nature. Nature cannot be replaced by technology. Again, without technology, agroeconomy cannot go forward. Rich countries nowadays with farm technoeconomy is now searching for part agroeconomy. On the other hand, agroeconomy is also trying to adopt technoeconomy for its progress. In our country even, the agricultural portion is going down in the economy, but technology is going up in the agricultural sector. So this issue is a good thing to altercate day after day. And this issue will be a good thing for the economy to demarcate which way to go, how to control, and how to gather the two ways in the same way. Now, the results drawn by the honorable adjudicators are with me. So let me render my good wishes to both the sides, because they are two sides of the same coin, the debate. One side got 82 points in total, and the other side got 82.62. The difference is subtle, only 0.62. But there is a winning party and an opposition party. There is a winning side and there is a losing side. So today, the winning side is Mirzapur Cadet College. Congratulations. But let me also congratulate the other side because they also played a good role. Thank you all.